1 Corinthians 9 and 13. 9:13, we touched on this Friday. I want to do it again. He said, do you not know that they which minister about holy things live of the things of the temple? And they which wait at the altar are partakers with the altar. Now, 1 Corinthians 8 and 9 are talking about a big offering that the churches were giving into and sending to help people. Most of it's about an offering. And he gets into a number of things here. And he said that those that minister about the holy things, and this is going back to the Old Testament now, is the priest, which would be comparable to modern day teachers and preachers and pastors, fivefold ministry gifts, and then the Levites, which would be comparable to modern day helps ministries, all the folks that it takes to do all the other things in the church and ministry. He said they live of the things of the temple. That means all the offerings that the people brought, of that is where the priests and Levites got their sustenance. In verse 14, even so has the Lord ordained that they which preach the gospel should live of the gospel. Now this is a revelation that many have not gotten yet, but if you are genuinely called to teach and preach and minister, you're not supposed to need to work other jobs. Now, it's fine if you're getting something started and in the beginning of the operation of the church, you got to do extra things. That's fine. You know, there were times that Paul talked about, you know, he made tents and he did other things. And there were times that he specifically wanted to demonstrate that he wasn't there for their money, but he just wanted to sow everything into them. He talks about that more here. But as a usual thing, pastors should not be working other jobs, because to do the job right, it's going to take your full-time efforts. Amen. And if you're worn out from other things, when you get there to do the job, you're not going to be at your best. You may think you're doing okay, but it takes your full attention and your full application. But he goes on to say, if you read the rest of that, he said, woe is me if I don't preach the gospel. So that obviously means bigger as far as, you know, him fulfilling his life's call, but it also has to do with this right here. If he doesn't preach the gospel when he's supposed to be, can he expect to live of the gospel? No. And you know, myself, I'm called, Phyllis and I, full-time to the ministry, and the Lord meets our needs wonderfully. But if I got lazy and I said, well, I'm tired of this and I'm tired of that and I just don't want to do it anymore, could I realistically expect all my needs to be met? Huh? If I'm supposed to be going, teaching, preaching, doing, if I don't do what I'm supposed to be doing, that's going to show up in my provision. Can you see this, friends? Look with me in 2 Thessalonians, the 3rd chapter.